Well, hello, everyone. It is January 28th, our very last show of January for our After Dark show. So glad to have everyone here with us. Get signed into the chat room. Looks like we got a full house tonight. Always a fun time in there. So what is our After Dark show? It's where we sit around and we play a little Conflicted. And it is a survival card game. It's an awesome deck of 52 cards with a lot of what-if questions on there. It's a great way to open up and talk to your survivalist group about what you would do in certain situations. We have some pretty interesting conversations going on in here. And joining us this week, I'm going to go through and introduce everyone, and they can drop their links in the chat room of what their website is, so you guys can track them down. But joining us, back to him. But Alika, you with us tonight?
I am. My name is Alika, and I am with the Prepper Forum, www.shtfready.com. We're prepping survivalist website. We share ideas and help each other learn and prepare. We keep the politics out so we can focus on the prepping and all aspects around it. We all heard of the ant and the grasshopper story. We teach you to be the ant.
I'm just checking in. Everybody can hear us in the chat room, okay? I'm getting conflicting information here. Let's move along. Back with us is the creator of the card game itself. JD, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Laurie. Thanks for having me back. It's good to be here.
Awesome to have you. You've been off for a couple weeks because life got involved, and glad to have you back with us.
Yes. Missed you guys. Glad to be back.
Awesome. And our special guest tonight is returning with us is Dale and Lisa. Welcome, Dale and Lisa.
How are you, Laurie? I'm gonna call you Laurie this time instead of Lisa, like I did last time.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm getting information. So everybody can hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I guess we're good to go. I guess some technical glitches going on. Must be the cold weather outside.
Something, yeah. Some flu virus infected our computers.
No doubt. Chris, it's good to hear your voice. Why don't you tell everybody what you're about?
Yeah, so I'm Chris with the Apocalyptic Empire series. You can find me at aeseries.com. A couple books I've written that are, surviving the apocalypse, rebuilding civilization. Working on a new project actually with Alika. I'm going to put my shit up for that. So you'll have to check back for more info on that as we get along the way. So
awesome.
Thanks.
We will do that.
Nice.
A teaser going on.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
I
I'm not
do.
telling you guys about it yet.
Wow. Before we get started, I'd like to give just those of you down the south right now, I know I've heard reports of over 800 kids stuck in a school, lots of motorists, thousands of motorists stuck on 65. Alabama's a mess. Georgia's a mess. You guys, if you're out and about, try and stay warm, try and stay safe. It's why we do what we do. We're not all about being doomsday preppers here. We're about being life preppers. That means always being ready for stuff like this.
I think it was 75 today, so I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Hush. Just hush and go back to your corner.
Just saying.
You'll get yours. Just wait.
I don't get it like you guys do, though.
Well, let's rock and roll. Speaking of teasers, JD, you guys have a new deck coming out in 2 days.
Yes. This is a pretty intense deck. If you like the first one, you're definitely going to like the second one. What I like about the second deck is that we have about 20 cards that were scenarios that were submitted by the community.
So we'll have our websites and stuff on the cards so you can track us all down?
Yep. You're going to have... if you want to see what the new card looks like, just head over to our Facebook page. And you can also share our status there for a chance to win the new deck.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and you can see what the cards are going to look like. And when there's questions from somebody from the community, there's going to be a green stripe on top of the card with the website so you can go see who submitted it. And there's some really good stuff in there.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm very excited about the second deck.
Well, why don't you tease us and give us a taste of what are the cards?
Sounds good. This card here, pay attention, and this is one of my favorite cards in the deck, because we all say, people come over, I'm going to turn them away, I'm going to show my weapon, I'm going to shoot him or whatever, I'm going to muscle them out of the way. And we tend to think that then the problem is gone, then it's over, and you're ready for the next threat. So let's go with the card here. So this is from the new deck of Conflicted, and it goes like this. At the local trading post, a man recognizes you from someone who turned him and his family away when he came begging for help. He starts to yell in the middle of the trading post that he'll sell information about your bug out location to the highest bidder. There are about 300 people doing business at the trading post as this scene unfolds. He claims to know your watchguard rotation schedule, how many people you have in camp, and the type of supplies you have in store. People are starting to notice you and him, and it's time for you to do something. How would you handle the situation? So, somebody who came begging, you turned him away. He saw you at the trading post later, a few days later, and he decided to announce that he wants to sell information about your bug out location. That happened to you, how would you handle the situation? Yeah, there's 300 people there, and this guy is screaming that he's going to sell your info. How would you get control of the situation?
Oh.
Alika, are you there?
Oh, I'm sorry. You cut out when I guess you called my name. Freaking lag.
You faint. That's how you control, right?
I really wouldn't worry about it. Just on the fact that I believe my perimeter and my AO would be secured enough that I could manage to take on, whoever he managed to sell the info to. I mean, if the trading post is where everybody gathers, if somebody looks hard enough, they would probably find my compound or whatever anyway. So, I mean, there's no point trying to silence him by, snuffing him out gently or just beating him into a pulp. You're just wasting, look for the smokestack coming out of my chimney or something. So this part, I really wouldn't even bother with confronting the guy and just disappear back into the crowds.
Interesting. So you just let the chips fall where they may and let it roll.
Yeah, on that, I really couldn't see wasting energy on that, for somebody that would try to get back at me. I mean, if I keep seeing like waves of marauders, and maybe I'll go hunt them down, but on first look, I just disappear back into the shadow.
I see. How about you, Dale? What would you do if there's 300 people there trading. You don't know who any of these people are. There's one guy threatening to sell your info.
The first thing I would do is probably just get the hell out of there and go back to the group and figure out, kind of include everybody in this and figure out what they wanted to do, because I think the makeup of your group, if this guy, hopefully we would be ready for any kind of anything like that in the first place, because 300 people, although that's pretty big, is not huge, but it depends on the makeup of the group too. If you go back or you don't go back and don't say anything, then you're going to have a lot of people that are, pissed off at you already. So I think you need to include everybody and figure out what everybody wants to do. And like I said, hopefully you would like to think that you would be ready for something like that. And not all 300 people are going to be coming after you all at once. The odds are most of them would probably think the guy's a tool for even, calling you out like that. Cause then they're going to be thinking that, hey, if this dude's going to be calling these people out, what is this jerk going to do, if I make it mad or something? So, you wouldn't have to defend yourself, I don't think, against all 300, but I would definitely go back and talk to everybody and figure out what they thought our plan of action would be. And then I would definitely have a bullseye on this dude, cause I don't need any kind of hassle like that.
Interesting. And Lisa, would you support Dale in this decision?
I would.
You better.
I would. But I think it's just being the gray man in that type of a situation. You never know who's going to come. You never know how many people are going to come. I think you need to be prepared for that. But at the same time, don't draw attention to yourself. Don't get sucked into his little, banter that he's going off on you. Just kind of be like, okay. And I just try to be the gray man.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Lori, how about you? Would you handle this any different?
Well, I was thinking the same thing along Lisa was thinking about, is the gray man. Why, first of all, would I be in a group of 300 people to begin with in a downgrade situation? I mean, that alone probably is a mistake to begin with, especially if you are not disguised. Who is this guy? How does he have all this information to begin with? And how did he get out of my group with this knowledge? And if he did, why haven't I changed all of our security parameters and things like that to accommodate the fact that someone left? How long after shit hit the fan are we talking about? If it's a Mad Max kind of a situation, yeah, I'd probably cozy up to him. And, if it came down to it, we'd probably go out and have a conversation, and one of us wouldn't come back.
Shane him.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, I would agree with Lisa of, the gray man, blend in situations like that. But why the hell would you be in a group that large to begin with?
Amen.
Well, it's a trading post. If you went there to get supplies or trade, that's where it's happening.
I still would be more comfortable doing more one-on-one trading than in a large group like that. And it's going to depend on variables. How long after a downgrade are we talking about? What kind of environment it is?
I see. Now, Chris, let me guess. You would shoot this guy.
Trip him?
No. The guy that said take him down by the river's edge, I thought that was ingenious. See how long he can hold his breath. Yeah, I mean, apart from shaning him, as Alika said, then definitely, from the beginning, I mean, I'm not going to be out there at the little smorgasbord trading and everything. I mean, it's going to be that I'm not going to be anywhere near that thing, But yeah, apart from staying away from the little swap meet or whatever you want to call it, yeah, definitely take him out and see how long he can hold his breath, or shane him or something for sure. So
interesting.
Shane him. That's my new favorite thing, I think.
Well, why don't you guys explain what that is for people listening? Because some people out there might not know.
That's where in The Walking Dead, him and his buddy go out in the field to have a conversation, and one guy doesn't come back, just like you said.
You can tell we're all Walking Dead fans here.
Yes.
Now, let me, how can you turn people away without making sure this doesn't happen? Because what can you put in place, and how can you turn people away so that they don't have, a desire to seek vengeance against you?
Never bring them close enough to give all your information out. That's the first thing.
Well, what if it's your brother? Curveball. What if it's your brother?
What if it's your brother?
Maybe you pissed him off, Maybe his wife hit on you or something.
Well, then it's a Cain and Abel, not a Shane and Rick, but yeah,
That family member that
same thing.
that you didn't bring,
Mm-hmm.
Switched off the entire.
But who
But if
says,
you didn't bring him, he wouldn't know all that. So.
But who says you have to have the same security all the time? You need to be able to adapt to that and adjust accordingly. It's not like just a one rule thing and that's how you're going to run it and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, anybody even staking you out and watching you is going to know
figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a double-edged sword because charity in a SHTF situation is dangerous by itself. But if you have to turn somebody away, it's a double-edged sword. What do? What gives you the best odds at that point? And just giving your stuff away, that's like feeding a stray cat. They're just going to come back.
What about using pity? I mean, think about it. If you have a survival group and something happens and you've got a meetup place, let's say it's my house. Let's say we are all in the same group together. Something happens, you all show up at my house with whatever, and it looks like our house is completely filled. My sister shows up, and I say, I'm sorry, we just don't have room to put everyone. And
Don't worry, I would have shamed JD before he made it to the house together.
would that take some of the confliction there off, with my sister by saying, I'm sorry, we're just completely filled? You're going to have to go someplace else?
I'm your sister. I take priority over all these people who aren't your family.
It's time to kick JD out, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
I think a way to avoid this is get a place that's kind of far off the beaten path, and if you have enough manpower, just have some checkpoints.
Fish hatchery, for sure.
You gotta have checkpoints on the way,
Is this the heads on the poles along the path?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was thinking that earlier. Like,
do you really want to come this way?
As they walk away, I mean, it's like this could go any way, but okay.
I think a good way would be, it might be a little extravagant, is smoke and mirrors. Make the person knocking on your door begging for food look like he hit up somebody that's worse off than him. Like, look, man, I would help you, but, open the pantry and all you see is cobwebs in a can of Vienna sausages. It's like, hey, I gotta feed 4 people with this little can. Wish I could help you. Sorry.
I think they would take
I'll
it.
open the door, but you might be dinner.
Or, make up a decoy storage shed outside and be like, all right, look, this is my food storage and there's nothing in here. I'm looking for food too, Just a whole bunch of smoke and mirrors, I think, would throw people off versus just saying no, slamming the door, and they think you're lying, then come back with a whole band of marauders. And
yeah, or even show them a small stash that you have and say, here, I can give you this can of beans, but this is all I've got, and this has got to last me. So I don't know what I'm going to do after a couple of weeks.
They're going to come back.
Yeah, they will.
Gonna come back. They're not going to just settle for that can of beans.
Nope, they want all of it.
They want all of it, or they're going to come back with more people.
People that are hungry,
they don't care.
No, I would agree with Lisa.
Aren't you glad you're with me then, huh?
Because you're going to give our food away. Thanks, Dale.
That's awesome. Well, at least you're on the same page.
Hey, better to find out now than later, right?
That's right.
Very true.
So who's getting shamed in this relationship?
My money's on Lisa on this one. Sorry, Dale.
Come on, let's go have a talk.
So the takeaway is to be very mindful how you turn people away, because you never know how you can face them, in the future, or how they can bring harm upon you. Because all it takes is some guy just make up all this stuff about you. If he knows where you're at, and they can say, hey, this guy has a bunch of stuff, there's hardly anybody there. If he gets paid and disappears, the people who are coming over won't know any better, but then you have a problem in your hands.
Yeah, but it's very important, though, as you play the game, that you look the part. And in 4P, who's in the chat room right now, and he'll be on the show in a couple weeks, brought up the fact, if you're going to play the part of starving like everyone else, make sure that you have clothes that are a couple sizes too large. So that way people know that you're one of them. You're starving along with everyone else, even though you might not be. You got to play the part. Look the part. Smoke and mirrors.
That's true. Perception is reality. That's for sure. And along those tracks, how would you do that though? What are some of the things you can do? You can have bigger clothes. You can act all desperate. But when it comes time to cook or to throw your cans away or to do something, how do you manage not exposing yourself that way?
Well, how do you cook? Because a lot of people are going to be, your food storage, you can bake bread. Everybody within 3 miles is going to smell fresh baking bread.
Mm-hmm. That's be off the beaten path far enough so that nobody knows what you're really doing back there.
Oh, no. The smell of fresh baking bread is going to travel for quite a while.
Yeah.
Not 150 miles or something like that.
Well, you better be way
when I
out
say
there.
Off the beaten path, I mean off the beaten path.
I have a couple thermal pots that I bought. The one I have is out of Australia, and it's self-contained. That you can cook in. The lid closes. You can't smell anything. I've tried it quite a few times just to test it out. Thing is awesome.
Have you tried kangaroo in it yet?
I have not, because in Indiana we don't have a whole lot of kangaroo. That's this time of the year.
What about Tasmanian devil?
Nope. Haven't seen any of those either.
Oh, okay. Had to ask.
All in Arizona.
It'd be the time of day that you do it might help too. I mean, it would at least minimize it. While if you did something at night, you're cooking something at night. Hopefully the people wouldn't be awake, or you still always have that risk. But or even dehydrating food, something like that doesn't give off that smell. Because if I smelled bacon and I was starving, I would be like
nothing would stop
dog.
you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Foaming at the mouth as you knock down the door.
What do you think people's, do you think they're, right now we live in a kind of 9 to 5 kind of a world per se. Do you think after a downgrade, how bad do you think that will change? Let's say an EMP goes off and there's no electricity. How do you think people's lives would change around that, time-wise?
Oh,
I think a lot of
going to bed earlier kind of thing.
Yeah.
We're going to live by the sun?
I think that's
you
a
have
good.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the beginning, it'd be, everybody trying to use up their stuff and all that. But after it, went on for a few days, it depends on how desperate people get to what they're going to do. Cause even the most, your preacher at church could be the nicest guy in the world right now. But when he smells bacon, he's going to be out the front door.
How long of a waiting period after a downgrade do you think before people can at least let out a little breath?
Completely unprepared. I mean, what do you think? Completely unprepared. It would be, I think, 3 or 4 days, but it just depends on how prepared you are.
Yeah, we've seen the riots now going on and stuff.
I was going to say from where, like, with all of the snow and stuff that's going on down south and people are abandoning their cars and, I mean, they're totally not even prepared for something like that. If something, nationwide catastrophic were to happen within 48 hours, probably maybe less.
Wow.
And the thing is, and I've heard this from multiple people about the snow and the ice going on right now in the south. A lot of them are like, the excuse for not being prepared was the fact that they were lied to by the weather guys. They said, well, it wasn't supposed to come this far south, or it came earlier than it was expected. It's like, guys, this isn't down to a minute by minute play. You play this out by weeks, not by minutes,
Yeah. It's like, let's stop making excuses and accept a little bit of responsibility for our own actions.
Exactly.
No, we can't do that. Come on.
Not right now. Okay. Maybe next week.
No. The government needs to tell us what's going. Wait. We're going down a JD trail here.
Well, it's kind of hard after just watching our leader in chief there on the TV earlier today. But we're in a world of hurt here, and if people aren't prepared and prepping and getting food supplies and water supplies and medicine put away, you're idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple.
There's a lot of idiots out there because people aren't paying attention. So I don't know. I think it was a good wake up call even listening, going, okay, we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
There's you can tell just by the fact that he's got the cojones to get on there and talk like that people believe it. And that's unfortunate because there's a lot of people that actually buy it. And I'm glad I'm not one of them.
Yeah. You want to just walk around and just shake people and say, wake up.
Yeah.
Please wake up. Your life depends on this.
Yeah, but we're the crazy ones.
Yeah.
I'll be crazy. I'll be crazy the rest of my life. That's fine with me.
Exactly. Yeah.
How many new preppers do you think are coming out of West Virginia with that chemical spill?
Hopefully quite a bit. It's sad though that we have to live through a catastrophe in order to get people to wake up.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Katrina is what got me going.
Katrina.
Hurricane.
Yeah. Not
his girlfriend.
Yeah, not his girlfriend.
Yeah.
But okay, well we are
Katrina
down to
got go.
27 after, so let's do
We don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, let's run roll call one more time and then maybe we can give away a free deck of cards with a trivia question.
And a book.
And a book tonight. So, Chris, where are you from?
Okay. I'm from aeseries.com. I will be giving away a book to whoever gets the trivia question correct. Just, do your thing with Lori, and we'll go from there.
And Alika?
I am from www.shtfready.com. We're prepping Survivalist website. Keep the tinfoil hat crazies out and focus on the prepping.
And our Wonder Twin duo tonight, Dale and Lisa. Lisa, why don't you introduce yourselves tonight?
I am Lisa and my counterpart is Dale. We run the survivalistprepper.net website. It's actually Dale's baby and I'm just kind of going along for the ride.
You're doing a great job.
And she's written a couple books, and we've got the promo codes that we'll give away that for the first two. If anybody wants those, I'll put those in the chat room. And
Awesome.
then I've also posted a post on the Facebook page, Survivalist Prepper, that we were going to be on the show tonight. So if anybody goes there and comments, I don't know what you'd comment anything, and I've got a couple of things that I'll give away to anybody who comments on that.
Cool.
Awesomeness.
Awesome.
And JD?
I'm JD with Survival Logics. We publish Conflicted, the card game we're playing tonight, which helps you draw the line between your life versus your morals, how far you're going to go in order to survive. And we're coming out with a new deck in just 2 days. If you want to go to our website and share our status there with the picture of the deck, we're going to pick somebody to win a free deck of the new series. So you'd help us, would help you, you'd have a good time.
I think these decks are getting better over time too, as more people are getting involved.
Absolutely. I think the second deck is a lot better than the first.
Yeah, definitely. I want to give a shout out to the chat room tonight. We've got a full house in there. You guys are always awesome to play along with, and get your Google fingers ready because we are giving away a deck and a book tonight. So, Chris, or anyone, do we have a trivia question?
I have one. I've been waiting.
Lay it out there.
All right. So, what does the ACP stand for in 45 ACP or 380 ACP, all that?
Okay.
What does the ACP stand for?
So you guys in the chat room, there's your question. First one to answer correctly wins a book and a deck. And you guys pay attention. So, Chris, one more time, please.
What does the ACP stand for in 45 ACP, 380, ACP? What does that stand for?
In calibers?
Yes, and gun, yes. Calibers. What does the ACP stand for?
All you gun guys that are leftovers from the show before us, you guys should have this.
You would think. I thought it was an easy question. They'd be like, boom, 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 but apparently not. People are Googling. Ooh, Hunt got it.
Hunt, you win.
Well, yeah, close enough.
Hunt's a female. All right, the girls rock tonight.
There you go. Oh,
Nice.
they fixed it. That's funny.
Hey, girls roll, boys roll.
There you go.
So Hunt, shoot me an email at prepperchicks@yahoo.com. with your email address or whatnot, and we'll get you out a deck. And then, Chris, how would she get your book?
Same thing. Just give me your email and I'll do digital copies.
Okay, I'll shoot it over to you when Hunt sends me the information. Prepperchicks at Yahoo. That's all you got to do. All right, let's go to the second half of the show. So, our author in the group, do you have one of your awesome questions tonight?
I do, and I'm actually going to use this one because I think this is the one that JD picked to do for the new cards. So it'll be a sneak peek of the new game and the one that I've written. So, it goes like this. Your family has been without food for quite some time now, and things are beginning to look bleak. You stumble upon a group of people who are friendly enough to barter goods with you. They have a small supply of food that they're willing to trade, but will only accept your only firearm as payment, since this is all you have of value. How would you react in this situation? What would you do? Would you give them your gun because you need the food? And then, how could this be avoided in the first place? Like the not having food scenario. Go. I'm always gonna go Lika first. Okay, there we go.
So you have a gun, and that's all you have, but you need to eat.
Worth anything that they want, and they have food they're willing to trade for your gun.
Depends. Is my pistol a High Point or a Jennings?
Oh no, we're talking. It's like a Colt. It's yeah.
I would say I'd have to go find food another way. I don't think I'd give up my only pistol, even if I ran out of bullets. I don't want to go your route, Chris, but I might, stick the family up.
Shoot 'em.
I was gonna say, why are you gonna kill the nice people? God.
But that would be the last resort. But I was like, I would just tell them, no, I can't give up my only pistol to defend my own family. I would try and barter something else or skills, or try and get accepted into their group or pull them into our group so we can share resources. Just something more democratic versus going all marauder and evil on them.
Okay. Fair enough. JD, what would you do?
I don't think I would give up my gun either for food. Even if my kids are starving, I would just find a different way to earn it. I would not go as far as robbing them with the gun, but
I said last resort.
I would
defense.
I wouldn't go that far. I would just not waste much time, and just go find foods other ways. Because I think if you give up your gun, it's just your only means of even making the odds more even if somebody else is armed. Because if you're unarmed, and another person is armed, what can you do? You're gonna do whatever they want, because otherwise you lose your life. And I'd rather starve than be in that position. So I would never.
What if you're already starving though? See, that's the thing. Like that's how you're gonna break this down. You're already starving for whatever reason, misfortune, couldn't find food, whatever. You're already starving. Still say, I need this gun more than I need that food?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because you gotta be able to defend yourself and defend your family. If things get that bad that people are bartering food for weapons, you bet there's some horrible things. Excuse me. You bet there's some horrible things going on in the area. Because if it gets down to that, man, you're going to take it more than ever. That's what I think.
Huh. What does the couple think on this one?
Well, I had one comment until JD brought up the point that if it's so bad that people are bartering for weapons, then, that kind of tells you about what the situation is. But if it came down to, it would have to come down to what gives me the best chance for survival. And if it's been a couple weeks since I've had anything to eat, then I would think about trading the gun. And before I need a place to sleep tonight, so I'm going to let Lisa answer this all before I dig myself too deep.
Oh, you wussy boy.
Because I'm sitting here shaking my head at him. No, do not give up the gun. And my reasoning for not giving up the gun, and yes, I may be starving and, we're going to fight about it later because we're both starving to death and we didn't plan on our food storage and how to, take care of ourselves after that ran out. But it's kind of going back to the first question when you guys were talking about smoke and mirrors. So you have this really nice couple that you run into and you decide, okay, I'm so hungry, I'm going to trade my gun for the food. Well, that could be their smoke and mirrors, and guess what? They're going to turn around and use your gun on you and get their food back.
Ooh, I was waiting for that and that one. Yeah, see, I thought
so
that's through.
Just so it's like, no, I'm sorry, Dale, you're not giving up the gun.
The winner of this conversation.
That's true. I never really even thought about that aspect. So
okay, I'm going to give Lisa a curveball.
Oh, curveball. Here we go.
Lisa, curveball.
Okay.
And Chris brought up the fact that you have children and they're starving also along with you.
Right.
What happens if, you keep your gun, they're willing to give you food for barter, but it includes you, having sex with couple males in their party. And your husband is standing right there.
Yeah. And that's, there's no way. I couldn't honestly live. I could not live with myself.
Somebody would be dead.
And
it might be me, but
yeah.
But how many females are going to do that?
There's going to be a lot. I would.
Yeah.
That's so they can pass me by and they can go find the next group that they're going and they'll say yes.
You just gotta wear boy clothes and a beard, and you'll be good to go.
That's right. I'll wear my big clothes, and I won't have any problems. I don't think.
It's like the smoke and mirrors you guys have been talking about. Just
okay, other than cutting
clothes,
my boobs
beard.
off, there is no way anyone is going to assume I'm a man. Trust me. Some girls can
Double
do that.
mastectomy and the
Some can't do that. Yeah, maybe I should learn that technique.
Yeah. Take one for the team, Lori.
This seems like an extreme question from Laurie. However, during the World War II and I, people all over Europe, the women were basically sleeping with the soldiers for, not all of them, of course, but there were cases of people sleeping with the soldiers for food.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, how far would you go to feed your children?
Yeah, and
that's the thing.
Lisa,
there was a lot of them.
Let's say Dale was taken out a long time ago, and it was just you and your kids.
Yeah, if that were the case, that might be possible.
Hey, now.
He says, hey,
I doubt it.
I'll be watching you from wherever I'm at.
Yeah. You'd be rolling over.
The hunchies do it.
But that's why we're where we're at today, and that's why we're, not only doing food storage, but doing other things, gardening, learning, different things you can eat. As nasty as it sounds, like, exactly. And that, if I would much rather eat an ant or a grasshopper or grass than even have the thought of thinking of sleeping with, exactly.
Hey, Dale, Dale, I
not
have
for Twinkie.
Dale, I have a curveball for you. Let's say you meet this
you
group.
Gonna take one for the team?
Right. Well, I'm not gonna go there because I know the answer for that already. But let's say this, after a day of negotiating, all of a sudden the guy says, "Okay, here's some food for you." You find out after you've eaten some of it, a couple days later, a week later, or whatever, that your wife did in fact sleep with someone on the other team, and you've benefited from it because your stomach is now full. How would you react to that?
That would be tough too.
You're taken care of. It was a one-time shot. That's all she had to do, and now you're stuck dealing with consequences.
Yeah, talk about conflicted, because on one side,
You've talked to this guy, and you kind of like the guy, but then
I
you
don't
find
know if I
out.
would like it much after that. I think I would have a few issues after that, but.
You guys aren't bros, and you just go at it together after that.
Well, since you've already been there too, we might as well share.
You know, I honestly, that would be something that really tore me up, but at the same time,
Feeling shame.
Yeah.
You know, your family's fed, and it's something that it's done, and you have to deal with. You know, do I take off? Do I cast her off? I don't think I'd be able to do that. I don't know if I'd be able to look at her for a while. But you know, and that's just what's that?
She's giggling like, got you.
But it's something that, you know, if it comes to that, what's to say that's not going to happen again too? Because it's come to that point that that's only going to last for so long. So what, you know, Natalie said you're very disappointing. You can't believe it.
He's going to mute himself, turn around, and go,
Okay, wait a minute, guys. You're not allowed to fight after the show's over with. I don't want to get a phone call. Damn it, Lori, we got a divorce or something. I can't believe she thought about doing that.
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
There's only one way to make this right. You go to the other team and say, okay, I need a woman from your team, and I'll sleep with her for some food too. Then you're even.
You know what? That's a damn good idea.
There you go. That's fair.
Really?
You can't say anything about it.
Did that?
I'm going to go get some food.
Oh, hell no.
I'm hungry too.
Yeah. Say, hey, I want some. Let's get some more food, but I'm it.
Yeah, it's my turn now.
Yeah.
What about you,
men don't
Gloria?
quite have that option like women do. That's why prostitution is the oldest profession, I suppose, and men aren't usually involved in that.
No, it's just those evil, conniving women out there.
Right.
And the perverted men that make it possible, I suppose.
Now, why would they be perverted? Why would you call them perverted? They're just doing what, you know, men do.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. They have needs.
We are sexual creatures. That's what we do, you know?
Yeah.
But then you bring in the whole aspect of your religious beliefs and all that kind of stuff, too. So that's a tough road to go.
Now, how about you, Laurie? If you were you in this situation, not Lisa?
I would look at the fine art of...
Would you sleep with the guy for food for your kids?
Well, I would look at the fine art of manipulation to begin with, without sleeping with them. I think that if I had a pistol and they had food, did they have any kind of security? Could I talk to them about maybe joining our groups together? You know, there's some variables there that we would need to have to work through. But that would probably be my first option. Hey, let's sit down and talk about this. You have something I need. I have something you need. What can we work out here? First of all, before anything else.
No.
What if the only thing I need is you?
Yes, and
they all say that, anyways.
What if his twigs and berries are not working and he just wants to touch a boob or something, or like a slice of bread?
Oh hell!
Got shot off in a war zone area or something. He took a round. Oh god!
You know,
he just wants to touch.
After you've had so many children and stuff like that, your dignity is not there a whole lot anymore. So yeah, I mean, you go to work sometimes and it's close quarters and you might as well go home and take a shower afterwards anyways.
Oh, man.
That's a yes.
You know,
she draws a line. But
does he smell bad?
He smells
Everybody
gross.
smells bad. Everybody smells bad.
Everybody's going to smell bad.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It would be very hard for me to have sex with someone other than my husband. I'm very loyal when it comes to that. And I've said this before.
Only because he's sitting right behind you, shaking his head at you. Right
Actually, no, he's talking upstairs to the guys from Primer Time, so he's already deserted me. But he also understands if I ever caught him with a female, there would probably be death involved somewhere along the line too, or at least severe mutilation.
Or the guy would be the one with the no working twig berries. That was him after the fact, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it'd be sticking out of his ear or something like that. But I take those vows very seriously, and it would be very hard for me to have that kind of well, it wouldn't be a relationship; it would be one-stop shopping kind of a thing. But it would be very hard for me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I would think of 12 other different things I could do before that, and would I consider robbing the people before I had sex with them? Yes, most definitely. Would I consider killing them before I had sex with them? That would be a rough one. That would definitely be a rough one.
If they look like they deserve to die, then it's easier, right? But
if they're propositioning you like that in the first place, that kind of shows you where their character and their morals.
Got ill intent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a very, very tough part of survival.
Who not to sleep with.
Well, we got a whole book we can write about that. Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, Chris, you have another question? We could move away from this one.
Move away. Well, I was thinking, before I got down the happy trail there, lately, it seems like there's a massive flu shenanigan going around. And I was thinking, how crazy is that going to be? Or, I don't know if it's possible, but is there going to be seasonal flu kind of thing going on when, everybody's off on their own doing their thing? Do you think that's possible? And how do you avoid, flu epidemic kind of thing?
Are you talking, is it just flu or could it be any disease?
I'm talking, I don't know, just right now, everybody's sick. My wife is sick, everybody I work with is sick, they're talking about it's sweeping across the nation, that kind of thing. So how do you deal with something like that where everybody's getting sick? Because you're all going to be in close contact, you're all going to be in close quarters.
And your water's going to be dirty, you're going to be dirty.
So how do you prepare something like that?
If you take, and listen to what Rachel, the Patriot Nurse, talks about in a downgrade situation. The thing that's going to kill you is going to be disease. It's not going to probably be a gunshot wound or anything like that. It's probably going to be some kind of dysentery,
yellow fever. That's what
something like that. You're going to die from that before you die from anything else.
But how do you, just a flu type thing, how do you prepare for something like that?
Well, you get your body in check to begin with. One of the most neglected things that survivalists are prepping for, or whatever you want to call your name. Neglect is their own personal, physical, being,
Yeah, but you say that and that's great, but we're all this whole conversation tonight's been about you're out of food and XYZ, so if you're out of food and everything, your physical health isn't going to be, in that great a shape. So to me, it says you're leaving yourself, downgraded immune system ready for something like that.
Or it could be quite the opposite. If you're not eating processed foods anymore, refined sugars and things like that, you could actually be in better shape or health than you are now.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I believe your body is an amazing machine and it'll learn to fix itself. I totally do not believe in the flu vaccine. It's just, I think it makes people sicker and more immune or susceptible to getting the flu.
So why do you sound like you're sick, Alika?
Because I got the flu shot. I'm required by my job to get the flu shot.
You got
the flu for sure.
But things like educate yourself, elderberries, garlic, things like that. Like Alika said, your body can heal itself if you give it the food that it needs to do that with.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing is the nutrition. People need to focus on not just having all this food, because if you have just tons of ramen noodle, well, you're asking for it anyway.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, the biggest thing is, and I work in a clinic environment. I am a nurse. So vitamin C is huge. People like, oh, vitamin C. No, it helps your immune system. It helps with healing. Vitamin D is another one. Increasing fluids, increasing electrolytes, garlic. Green leafy vegetables. Getting back to more, simple food is a lot better for you. I haven't gotten a flu shot in 8 years. I refuse to get one. And I have not had the flu in 8 years just by, trying to take care of myself. I don't bring it home. But the best way to stop any infection, anything, is to wash your hands. That is the biggest prevention of anything.
Okay, downgrade situation. You don't have water access to wash your hands all the time. Any other suggestions? Did you say
I sell it by the gallon every day.
Yeah, if you've got bleach, if you have iodine, anything that you can use that you're going to be purifying water with.
Because I thought he said to pee on them.
Oh no, Purell.
Purell.
Purell. Windex.
Urine is sterile, so.
I'm not peeing on you. Wash your hands.
Here I'm thinking, great, we've got food, now we need water.
No, we have little dispensers that supposedly have lifetime batteries. You just stick one right on the wall and you're good.
There you
go.
Yeah, so drink your pee.
Drink your pee. Yes, that'll keep you healthy for a long time.
Well, I know my dad, when I grew up hunting with my dad, and he would have the old carbide lights, and he would just pee in the nose, and we had light in the middle of the woods in the middle of the night. So, don't disclaim urine altogether here. It has its functions.
Or survive in the desert like last week, right?
Yeah, exactly. Write your name in the sand.
In the snow, like down south.
Don't need to snow.
They need to mark their customers so they don't want to go back to.
You gotta do something. That's for sure. Any other suggestions, Lisa, for keeping your health up?
Well, I'm looking at in the chat room, and Hunt is talking about antibacterial soaps and using it doesn't wash the virus off. Antibacterial soaps aren't really a good thing because not only do they kill bad bacteria, but they also kill the good bacteria that goes on that your skin needs to help protect it. And keeping your skin intact, that's like the largest organ of your body is the skin. So you want to make sure that you keep it healthy. So even Dial soap, Ivory soap, and those are cheap. You can buy bar soap, you can get 2 of them at the dollar store. And bar soap lasts forever.
Or learn how to make your own soap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's probably better for you anyways.
That's totally true, though. I mean, coming from the soap salesman, like the Gojo rep who makes Purell, they tell us don't use an antibacterial soap. Just use regular soap,
right.
Unscented, whatever, and just use regular old soap and use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer, and it'll kill 99% of the bad bacteria on your hands just by doing it.
Right.
And the other thing that people don't know is how to effectively wash your hands. Like people go into a bathroom and go rinse, and scrub, and walk out. But if you don't wash your hands for 20 seconds or more,
sing happy birthday.
Sing happy birthday.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're not actually breaking up the bacteria on your hands and getting the soils off your skin. And so it just stays there. So even if you do that alcohol-based hand sanitizer after that, it's not doing the same thing.
Right.
So the whole flu thing, I was researching it a lot for my social networking stuff today. So tangent.
Definitely lots of good information. Definitely. We are down to about 4 minutes. So we're going to go through roll call one more time so that way everybody knows where to contact you guys at. And also our next week's show, we have Michael Hoff back with us, who is getting ready to release his 3rd book in his, series of awesomeness that he has out. So looking forward to that. He is a sick and twisted person, so his answers should be quite, thrilling. Between him and Chris, I'm not sure which one's worse sometimes, but it should be an interesting
I've scaled it down quite a bit, so.
Yes, you have. I will give you that. Definitely.
I'm going to have to listen to that one next week.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely some interesting things coming up and some interesting guests coming up in the future. But Dale and Lisa, you guys are a pair and you run what?
Survivalistprepper.net, and I also do a podcast. Lisa and I both actually do it quite a bit. Is Survivalist Prepper the podcast? You can find that on iTunes as well.
Awesome. If you guys can drop those links into the chat room, what's the website to begin with?
Survivalistprepper.net.
.net. Okay. And Alika.
I am with www.shtfready.com. We're a prepping survivalist website. We help everybody from beginner to expert learn and prepare on all the aspects surrounding prepping. We keep the politics out and we teach you just to be prepared.
Awesome. And
Tell you not to take your flu shot.
yeah, don't take your shot. Chris?
You sound like crap. So Chris with aeseries.com. I guess I'm the soap salesman by day and a crazy zombie novelist at night. So you can head over to my website, check me out, take a look at my books, and go from there.
Do you have a cape?
I should get a cape.
You should get a cape.
Totally.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
I'll get back to you on that.
Awesomeness. And JD, the creator of this awesome game that you have out there, how can people out there listening get a deck of cards, know what's coming up in the future, and participate in some of your giveaways?
Yes, so JD with Ravagix, we publish Conflicted Survival card game. You guys can get it at Conflicted the Game /Prepper Chicks. You can get it there. And also head over to our Facebook page and share our status for a chance to win the new deck. It's coming out in just a few days.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'm looking forward to that.
Round 2.
It's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it is a wrap. Thank you guys for being on tonight.
Thanks, everybody.
Neil, thanks, guys.
See you in
Thanks
7.
for inviting us.
Yeah.
Anytime,
next week.
guys.